talking to you. I'm trying to cut sheetrock and drill the holes for all my outlets.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's been a project, you know.
I thought I saw David pop up.
Talking to you. I'm trying to cut sheetrock and drill the hole.
Dan? Hey, Dan.
Yep.
Okay, we are live on YouTube and then everybody's present, including the secretary.
All right. Call the meeting to order of the Board of Fire Commissioners of the North Greenbush Fire District Number 1. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence in honor of the deceased firefighters in the district. We're starting out with the annual organizational meeting. Since the position of the chairman of the board expires on December 31st, there's no one to act as chairman. I believe we need a temporary chairman. I think Sean spoke with Rich. So I'll turn it over to Rich.
Somebody's got to nominate it, do a nomination.
I'll nominate Rich as the temporary chair.
I'll second. There you go. Always fighting Dave with that.
Rich?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear him.
Oh, we need a roll call vote, so I was just calling off.
Aye, sorry.
Dan?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Okay, sounds like we got a unanimous vote there. Let's see. I would make a resolution that Dan Guerra be the chairman for the year 2021.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion. We've got a second. Any discussion on it? Roll call vote, please.
Yep, Rich?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Congratulations, Dan. You are the chairman for 2021, and the gavel, the virtual gavel, is all yours.
Oh, well, thank you very much. So before we get into the much more of the meeting, I wanted to take the opportunity on the record here while we're open, officially welcome Nick Schifo to the Board of Fire Commissioners, who's starting his first year as a commissioner. So welcome, Nick.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Outstanding.
All right. I entertain a resolution. We need to nominate a deputy chairman. Rich, this is your 4th year in your term, correct?
That's correct.
I'll nominate Rich French to be the deputy chairman. I need a second.
I'll second it.
Brian, roll call vote. Sean?
Brian?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Thank you.
Let it be noted that the board had directed the secretary, Sean Kerwin, to notify the media, which is the record of the date and time of the organizational meeting, and to have the legal notice published in the fire district's website and the town of North Greenbush website. Let it be noted, the newly elected commissioner is hereby directed to complete the oath of office and sign the oath book with the town clerk by January 31st, 2021 per town law. Nick, that would be you.
Yep, I did that Tuesday.
Okay. All official. Thank you. need entertain a resolution to nominate Sean Kerwin as the secretary treasurer.
I make that nomination.
Made by Dave. Need a
I'll second it.
Made by Nick. This is to appoint Sean as the secretary treasurer for the fire district for 2021 and set the salary for the secretary treasurer in accordance with the amount fixed in the general fund budget for 2021. Roll call vote, please.
Dan,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
and Rich.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Entertain a resolution to appoint Robert Durivage as the deputy secretary treasurer and the director of purchasing with a salary as set forth in the 2021 budget.
I'll make it.
Brian, need a second?
I'll second it.
Rich, roll call vote?
Rich,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Resolution carries. Entertain a resolution to appoint Terrence Hannigan as the attorney for the North Greenbush Fire District Number 1 for 2021 and to fix the retainer for the attorney in accordance with the amount fixed in the general fund budget for 2021.
So moved.
Made by Rich. Need a second?
Second.
Dave? Is that Dave?
yes.
Roll call?
Rich,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
and Dan.
Resolution carries. Administrative assistance, I think we'll combine this in one. Entertain a resolution to appoint Bonnie Mountier as the administrative assistant for the DeFriestville Fire Department and Jimmy Oliver as the administrative assistant for the Wine and Skill Fire Department. I'm going to make a recommendation that we actually change those resolutions, that we just make them administrative assistants for the North Greenbush Fire District Number 1. Just should the event occur where one needs to help out on the other side, we're covered. So I recommend that we appoint Jimmy Oliver and Bonnie Mountier as administrative assistants for the North Greenbush Fire District Number 1 at a salary set in accordance with the amount fixed in the general budget for 2021. First, any discussion on my recommended change to the resolution?
I think it's a good idea.
I like it.
Makes sense.
All right, need somebody to make the resolution, somebody to second it?
So moved.
Rich,
I'll second.
second by Nick. Roll call?
Rich,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
and Dan.
Aye. Special Projects Coordinator, entertain a resolution to appoint Mark LaCivita as a non-compensated Special Projects Coordinator for the year 2021. Again, there's no salary attached to this.
I'll make it.
Brian, need a second?
I'll second.
Rich, roll call vote?
Rich,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Dan.
Aye. You should have in your Dropbox the bond insurance on the treasurer, deputy treasurer. Sean, can you just kind of quick give a little summary what that is concerning?
Sure, absolutely. That's just a bond in case myself or the deputy treasurer were to partake in some of the funding of the North Greenbush Fire District. There is a bond coverage policy that's available up to $1.5 million that the district would be reimbursed for any theft that may occur due to, an act by myself or the deputy treasurer.
Okay. Entertain a motion to acknowledge that the board reviewed the insurance bond in force in the amount of $1.5 million for both the treasurer and deputy treasurer and found it to be acceptable.
I'll make the motion.
Made by Nick. Need a second?
Seconded.
By Rich. All is in favor?
Aye.
Resolution carries. Entertain a resolution, or the motion carried. Entertain a resolution naming Key Bank as the official depository.
So resolved.
Made by Rich. Need a second?
I'll second it.
Brian, roll call.
Brian,
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
Dan,
Aye. Resolution carries. Entertain a motion to hold the regular monthly meetings of the Board of Fire Commissioners on the second Monday of each month, commencing at 7 PM for 2021. Secretary will notify the media and post notices accordingly.
So moved.
Made by Rich. Need a second?
I'll second.
Nick? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I think you missed one, Dan, going down. the
Yeah.
agenda.
Which one was that?
the newspaper.
Newspaper.
My
Oh.
favorite one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll consider Rich making a
No,
motion
you
to
won't. Oh, go ahead.
name Rich made a motion to name the Record as the official newspaper for the fire district. We need a second.
I'll second it.
Brian, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hey,
Aye.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to renew our membership in the New York State Association of Fire Districts, the Capital Area Association of Fire Districts, and the New York State Association of Fire Chiefs, and the Firemen's Association of the State of New York for 2021.
I'll make a motion.
Made by Nick. Need a second?
I'll second.
By Rich. All those in favor? You can just put your hand
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Entertain a motion to acknowledge that the board reviewed and amended the procurement policy and intend to follow it precisely. Sean, can you quickly, or Bob, briefly review the actual policy? And I noticed amended is bold-faced. What we're changing on that, what the proposed changes?
Yep. So basically, we had the same minimum since, I started 20 years ago, where if you had a quote above $500, from $500 to $2,999.99, it required 2 written quotes. And, with inflation and so forth, prices naturally are escalating. So we are proposing to raise it up to $750 to $3,499.99. You would need 2 written quotes. Then $3,500 to $20,000, basically, you would still need the 3 written or fax quotes. So basically, it affects the lower limit. We just increased that threshold. And I did send it to Terry, and Terry gave it his blessing as well.
Right? Any questions for Sean on that?
The only comment I would make, Dan, is that should we act on that and pass it, I would suggest and recommend that it be posted in both stations so that everybody's aware that there's been a change and what the new rules are.
All right. So entertain a motion. Who'd like to make that?
I will do that with the amendment.
All right. Rich, need a second?
I'll second.
Made by Nick. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Standard mileage reimbursement, entertain a resolution that the board will adopt the applicable mileage reimbursement rate set forth by the IRS for auto expense. It's currently 56 cents a mile, but we're adopting not the specific amount, we're adopting the mileage rate set by the IRS. So should that change, we do not need to take further action for the year. Somebody like to make that?
So moved.
So moved.
Brian, second by Rich. Roll call.
Rich,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
Dan.
Aye. Entertain a resolution that the district will reimburse travel at the established GSA per diem rate for meals and incidentals. Moreover, all relevant receipts must be submitted with the fire district travel voucher. Need someone to make that?
I'll make it.
Brian, need a second?
I'll second.
Nick, seconded. Roll call.
Nick,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye. All right. I don't have the list of all the chiefs here in front of me, so I might need a little assistance with this. I know most of them. Entertain a resolution to appoint William Burkhart as the DFD chief, Brandon Galligan as the first assistant chief, and Charles Galligan as the DFD second assistant chief for 2021, effective at 7:58 PM, January 11th.
6:58.
6:58. We have to change the clock in here.
You'll be right in March.
All right. I'll make the resolution if I could get a second.
I'll second.
Seconded by Rich. Roll call.
Rich,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Okay, I'll entertain a resolution to appoint Mark Mason as chief, Adam Littlefield as first assistant chief, and Dan Wilson Jr. as second assistant chief for WFD. Do I have all that right?
Yes.
yep,
Effective at 6:59 PM, January 11th. I'll make the resolution if I could get a second.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Seconded by Nick. Roll call.
Nick,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
All right, now we'll appoint the district chief and deputy district chief. Odd numbered years, we make the DeFriestville chief because it's Station 9, the district chief, and the Wine and Skill chief because it's an even number, the deputy district chief. Entertain a resolution to appoint William Burkhart as the district chief and Mark Mason as the deputy district chief, effective at 6:59 PM, January 11th.
So resolved.
By Rich, need a second?
Second it.
Brian, roll call.
Brian,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Dan.
Aye. Let it be noted that all chiefs are hereby directed to complete the oath of office and sign the oath book with the town clerk by January 31st per town law. Sean or Bob, can you put that in an email to all 6 chiefs just to be certain that that gets done?
Okay,
Entertain a motion to adopt the MU1 record retention and destruction policy.
So moved.
By Rich, need a second?
Second it.
Brian, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I interrupt on that one? Sorry.
Sure.
That should read now the LGS-1, Sean.
okay.
They
Thanks,
renamed
Dan.
it last year. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go back to sleep now.
Nick actually called me and told me that was incorrect. He's right on top of this, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Town
So,
clerk is well aware of that too, so someone would get it when you get home.
that's right. All right. So all those in favor as amended by Terry?
Aye.
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 All right. Entertain a resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Fire Commissioners adopts all existing policies of the fire district currently in place effective January 11th, 2021. Need someone to make that?
I'll make it.
Brian, need a second?
Second.
Dave, roll call.
Dave,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Dan.
Aye. Entertain a resolution, be it resolved that the treasurer or the fire district is authorized to pay in advance of an audit by this Board of Fire Commissioners of the North Greenbush Fire District the following claims. Any such claims must be presented at the next meeting of the Board of Fire Commissioners of the North Greenbush Fire District for audit. Utility payments, telephone payments, payments to the U.S. Postmaster for postage expenses, payment to for freight or delivery charges, credit card payments, payroll taxes, town and county taxes. Spectrum, Life Gas, Casella, bond interest and principal payments, salaries for staff to be paid as early as the first day of the following month, if possible. Need somebody to make that resolution in a second.
To make the resolution.
I saw
Brian,
Dave's finger on the button.
Brian, seconded by Dave. Roll call.
Dave,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Dan.
Aye. Resolution carries. Be resolved by this Board of Fire Commissioners of the North Greenwich Fire District that pursuant to Town Law 176-4A, no claim may be presented, audited, or paid unless such claim is verified under oath on a district voucher or in lieu of such verification, certified to be true and correct. Resolution excludes the following: NYSEG, National Grid, Spectrum, Staples, Verizon, payroll taxes, U.S. postal costs, Life Gas, district membership dues, bond payments, credit card payments, Amazon, McKesson, NYSEF, Workers' Comp, Whitmer Public Safety Group, and Casella. Who'd like to make that?
I'll make the resolution.
Made by Nick. Need a second?
I'll second.
By Rich. Roll call.
Rich,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Dan.
Aye. Resolution carries. Be resolved that the fire district treasurer is authorized within 60 days after the end of the fiscal year to submit to the Board of Fire Commissioners a copy of the New York State Annual Report required by General Municipal Law, Section 30, in lieu of a written statement showing his receipts and disbursements for the preceding year. This authorization shall remain in effect from year to year until rescinded by this Board of Fire Commissioners. I'll make the resolution. Need a second?
Second.
Made by Rich. Roll call.
Rich,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
I'm going to suggest a change here regarding the annual inspection dinner. And Terry, tell me if this is permissible to call it an annual inspection event. Just because I'm uncertain with COVID-19, what the actual format or event will be. Is that okay? Or does it have to be dinner?
Give me 4 seconds here. Start now.
Well, we're waiting for him to look that up. Let's go on to one of the other ones. We'll go back to it. Entertain a resolution to appoint the 2021 Ethics Committee. Right now, we've got Jeff Steer and Jim Minor.
Dan, I'm sorry, can I interrupt you on that
Yes.
one? I did reach out to both of them. Jim Minor's fine. Jeff, though, said we should maybe check with Terry because he no longer lives in the town. So we're not sure if Jeff can be
It's,
seated on the ethics committee.
you could, have anybody on it, quite
Okay.
frankly. It's not one of those things where they have to be in the,
Town resident.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Scott? We can't really appoint him tonight without asking. What about Scott Kennedy?
He'd be a great choice.
I think the third person is supposed to be a non-firematic person. It used to be the photographer, the DFD's photographer there.
Oh,
Ray Paulson.
Right. So I thought it was supposed to be a non-firematic person.
I think that was our intent. Well, for tonight, all we've got is commitments from Jeff and Jim Minor, right?
Right.
So entertain a resolution to appoint Jeff and Jim Minor, and then by the next meeting, we should really try to fill out the other 3 names.
Okay.
I would recommend Scott Kennedy, but we'll talk to him.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a total of 5? I'm
I
asking
thought it was 3. I don't
3,
remember.
okay.
I knew it was an odd number.
All right,
Dan
well,
said
there's
the
four
other 3 names.
spots.
I thought there was 3 more.
There's 4 spots. Terry, how big is the board supposed to be? We have 2 names listed and 2 blanks.
It's usually a minimum of 3. But just let me ask you, when was the last time you rolled these guys out and used them for anything?
This is my 15th year on the board. I don't think we've done
No.
it in 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, this is not one you should sweat, okay? In terms of if you've got to approve them now, and if you need to appoint 1 more, or 2 more, or 10 more, you can do that as it goes on. If you have a big ethical crisis next week, you can call a special meeting, but I'm not seeing that on the horizon.
All right,
Okay.
the resolution to appoint Jeff and Jim Minor. I'll make it. Need a second.
Second.
Made by Nick. Roll call.
Nick,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
sorry, Dave.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Resolution carries. We're going back to the annual inspection dinner to see if we can call it an annual inspection event for 2021.
Yeah, the statute calls it an inspection dash dinner. So I would call it an inspection dash dinner / event.
Okay,
You need that type of latitude. So
all right. Entertain a resolution to set the date to be determined for the joint DFD and WFD annual fireman's inspection dinner / event. At location to be determined as required in town law, section 176D. Moreover, the North Greenbush Fire District will pay $6,600 for the annual inspection dinner in accordance with the amount fixed in the general fund budget for 2021, with the exclusion of any alcoholic beverage. So I think really for the purposes of the resolution, we're really approving designating up to $6,600 in the budget for an inspection dinner and event. We don't really know the date or time yet due to COVID. So I think when a recommendation is made by the fire companies, that would have to be presented to the board for approval. Am I correct on that, Terry?
yeah, you're just basically authorizing the event, but you're not the particular expenditure at this point in time.
Or the location?
Yeah.
Okay, who'd like to make that resolution?
I'll make it.
Brian, need a second?
I got it.
Rich, roll call.
Rich.
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Dan.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
Nick.
Aye.
Resolution carries. Entertain a resolution to appoint, we just did that one. Entertain a resolution authorizing the district chief and deputy district chief to place the departments of the fire district on duty and to permit representatives of the departments to attend wakes, funerals, parades, fire prevention, and other like events or functions, and further authorizing the use of such district apparatus as the chief in his or her discretion may determine acceptable, and to report said events to the Board of Fire Commissioners during the subsequent monthly meeting. Would like to make that?
I'll make it.
Brian, need a second?
I'll second.
Nick, roll call.
Nick.
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
Dan.
Aye.
Rich.
Entertain a resolution to approve all in-state training pending the district chiefs and/or deputy chiefs' approval. I'll make it. Need a second?
Second.
Rich, roll call.
Rich.
Aye.
Dan.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Nick.
Aye.
Entertain a motion acknowledging that the district has obtained enhanced cancer disability benefit required under general municipal law, section 205-CC. Moreover, the secretary treasurer is authorized to sign and execute cancer coverage claim forms in a timely manner. and discreetly and confidentiality report such claims to the Board of Fire Commissioners at the next regularly scheduled meeting. Who would like to make that?
I'll make it.
Brian, I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. The chairman is making the following appointments. I'm not going to read off all of these. They're basically the same, except Nick Scifo has been appointed to the committees that Scott Kennedy was on. Entertain a motion to approve the committees as listed above.
So moved.
Made by Rich. Need a second?
Second.
By Nick. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Entertain a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting at 6:13 or 7:13 PM.
So moved.
Rich, second.
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 Brian, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. At this point, we'll move on to the regular meeting. Roll call.
Dan,
Here.
Dave,
Here.
Nick,
Here.
Brian,
Here.
Rich.
Still here.
Okay, the public session will be at the end of the meeting. So if anybody from the public is watching, you may submit comments to the email address listed on the website. Fire District Committee for the Wine and Skill Fire Department building upgrade. Rich and Dave, anything?
I haven't seen, nothing moving at this point of year. Bob may have some information. He had a discussion with Ed Anchor, but it's slow evolving.
I believe the garage door was replaced, right, Bob?
Yes.
Oh, the repair of the door, the panel.
That's correct. It was repaired.
I just dawned on me that we, under the committee appointments, we do have that's an actual official fire district committee for the WFD building upgrade, and we didn't make those appointments. I don't know off the top of my head all the individual members, but Joe Casino is the chairman. Co-chairman along with the two commissioners on it. So I think we should take official action and appoint Joe to that. I'll make a motion to appoint Joey Casino as co-chair of the Fire District Building Committee for Wine and Skill Fire Department upgrades.
I'll second that.
Okay, by Rich, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Dave, did you have anything?
No, I think that's it. We're kind of plugging along here with everything that's going on. Anything that we've had problems with, Bob has addressed quickly, so we're just plugging along.
All right. Department presidents reports. Wine and Skill. Adam is on, I believe. Yes, there he is. Adam, I've got two applications here, which we can take action under membership. So I've got those, but if you've got anything else.
Yeah, I got one other thing. I've been talking to Dave about getting us membership ID cards. I mean, not Dave, Bob. I'm sorry. Bob's been helping me with all that. I'm just looking to see what your guys' thoughts on it. I want to get a membership card for every active fireman, and then I'd like to have blue tags and brown tags made, or red tags for interior and non-interior. But I also don't know the steps that I have to take, or what you guys are willing to help with, or if you guys do help with those, and so on and so forth.
So I think as far as the firematic end of it, interior, exterior, all of that, I don't want to speak for the whole board, but that would be, I think, an expense incurred by the fire district. It's a firematic function. I think the two fire chiefs would really have to be, submit a proposal to the board of, what they want as far as their color coding system, the specifics and all of that.
Okay.
As far as an actual membership ID card, I mean, I think you could provide, and PJ could provide input to the chiefs. And if we could just get one, I guess, package proposal for us to consider, and we could take action at the next meeting, but I think it's a reasonable expense for the fire district to pick up, not necessarily the fire companies.
Dan, if
Yeah,
I may, Bob and I had some discussion about this a while back, and had discussed it. And there's companies we could hire to do this, but that gets to be a real expensive recurring cost. I think if we were to do something down and dirty, simple, that design a fire district ID that has the person's photo on it. We don't have to worry about an embedded chip that has their training records that go back 40 years. Or any of that other nonsense, but just who they are and that they are a representative of the fire district. That's something. And the other thing is it have to have an expiration date on it, because an ID is invalid unless it's got a reasonable expiration date on it. And just meet the bare bones minimums requirements for putting together an ID, rather than try and develop this elaborate thing. And to have different color IDs for an interior, exterior. And the list their titles on them, you just incur all kinds of recurring costs that would be unnecessary.
Yeah, and
Okay, yeah, no,
nobody
I was
disagrees.
just
I think the fire district should pick up the tab for that, I think.
Yeah.
Bob, go ahead.
Okay.
I thought you had something to say.
No.
So Bob has made the commissioner's IDs and the staff IDs. I don't think we really should
Correct.
expect him to make them up for every member on both sides, but I think, the chiefs can work with their two administrative assistants. We just appointed them. They could assist with that task, or if they want, to appoint somebody in-house that's kind of handy with this kind of stuff. I don't think we really need to be involved in the minutia of all of that.
I don't want to see it get dumped to Bob, though. We want to make sure it doesn't get dumped.
No.
to
That's what I just said.
It's not going to get the dump to Bob. I have been in talks with Bob
Bob. Okay.
about this. My chiefs have appointed me to kind of handle this situation, but I know Bob had them made for you. Bob gave me the lowdown on what to do. You need a white back screen, take a picture, send it to the company he already has, and they bang it out for us. And there's not really no real, I guess.
Okay.
I mean,
So I guess
legwork to do, other than position, firefighter's name, and expiration date. I was just looking to see what you guys would help me purchase. You know what I mean? I didn't know if you guys were going to be okay with having 3 ID cards, or if you wanted to do just the membership ID and the fire department handles active and so on and so forth. That was more or less my question.
I guess my question to you, Adam, is what do you need an ID card that says active or interior or exterior or any of that? I know the red.
We were going to use them tags, the red and blue, as in your ones you leave at the door on, so on and so forth.
You're not. So you're talking about getting away from the diamond shaped tags that we've been using for 50 years.
Yep.
I think that's something that I really think that's something that the two chiefs need to get together on, and we need to keep that a single district policy on how because we're if the district wants to move away from what we're doing currently, that's fine. But right now we've been using those the hotel keys, if you will, the hotel fobs, with no problem at all for quite a while.
What do you mean the hotel keys? Because maybe I'm confused. I am going by just the brown ones and the
those were originally they were originally came from a company that used to design it for hotels, and it said if found return to. Well, since most hotels have gone to electronic keys, we are now pretty much the sole buyer of them. The fire service. So are you talking about those? Or are you talking about a photo ID? You talking about two separate things? I guess I don't follow what you're doing.
I want a photo ID that states your position that you are a member of the Wyandotte Fire Department for people to keep in their wallets. Like, you know, the COVID-19, when we first started sending people, they were asking if you were an active fireman. That's where the letter came from, blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to nip that in the bud as well. And then an interior and a non-interior tag as well.
Oh, so you're just talking about getting tags. That's something that's another district cost incurrence.
Well, my original suggestion, I think we might just want to consider. I think if you want to be involved in an Adam from the ID end,
Yep.
I think from the accountability tags, like I said, that suggestion should come from the two chiefs. But over the course of the next month, if William and Mark want to work with you and PJ and kind of come to us next month with one proposal, whether it be this is going to be our proposed fire district membership card for Wynantskill and DeFriestville. They would be the same, North Greenbush Fire District, but then it would specify Wynantskill or DeFriestville. And if the chiefs are proposing a change to the accountability tag system, what that would look like and the associated cost.
Okay.
And then we'll take action from there. And if it turns into like, hey, we're not ready to move on the accountability tag piece, maybe the chiefs want more time to look into that. I don't think there's any harm in getting moving on just the membership ID card piece. That's.
So I can definitely move forward with the membership ID card and get that ball rolling, just in case, we need it down the road for anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but don't actually go out and purchase it. We don't even know how much they are. So I just think you want to find out this is the cost. You and PJ, you probably want to work together and along with the chiefs, hey, we need X number in Wynantskill, X number of cards in DeFriestville. We anticipate, here's where we're going to buy them from.
Okay.
This is the expense. Maybe you email us, a template of, one of each, and then we take action at the February meeting.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I got a suggestion.
Yeah. I'm just working, I'm just going, Bob's been a big help to me in a lot of things, and he kind of just guides me in the right direction. So this is kind of the direction that, me and him have talked about, because he already has a company that's he's done work with and we were going to use. But we can get that all together. I can sit down with PJ and we'll go over it with the chiefs once we have a kind of drawn up plan on what we're going to do. And then we'll send it off to you guys and see what happens.
Yeah. And then we'll take action next month. And I think the accountability tags is probably a separate kind of thing. But I think it's a good idea to have an official ID. So.
Yeah. All right. Also, we closed up shop, as you guys know. We just had the officers there Tuesday just to sign the book, because we already had Kerwin coming to do the book, and we did that. And then we did our meeting live on Zoom, which was awesome. Bob had me set up perfect for that. Thank you to Bob. We're playing it all by ear on when we're possibly going to, go back to monthly meetings, but it's nothing set in stone right now.
All right.
And that's about it for me.
Okay. And we'll do these applications after. Any questions for Adam? Nope.
No, I have one suggestion that maybe you ought to get a group together, because I'm trying to picture how we have the fire department membership cards. And then if you make a permanent photo card, is it good for only a year? Do you have to replace them after a year? So there's a lot of questions like that may be stumbling on you down the road. The other question I have is that the district do the chiefs now as a normal ID card for the district?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because I think that's definitely needs to be there in case they get no situation.
Dan?
Yeah.
The district does district staff, all of the commissioners, the elected chiefs, and you also extended the courtesy to the executive committee, like for the president and the treasurer of the departments, that if they needed an official district ID for some reason, you extended that to them also.
All right. So we'll continue that practice. PJ, DeFriestville's president's report.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
We have no new members or building use this month. Want to welcome aboard Nick. Looking forward to working with them. During the last snowstorm in December, the department snow blower kept on falling apart, and we're asking for a replacement. Bob Durivage worked with me and got 2 quotes, which we submitted, and we would recommend purchasing the one from Country True Value. It's a good unit. It's the least expensive of the 2. It's a heavy duty unit, and hopefully we can get a good 15 years out of it like we did the last unit. Other than that, that's the end of my report.
I'm in Dropbox here, Bob. I see the email of PJ's report about the snow blowers, but it refers to the attached quotes, and I don't see
They're a new business.
that's a new business. All right, here it is.
Yeah, the quotes are in Dropbox under new
Okay,
business.
so Aaron's Pro 28, regularly $2,300. They're quoting $1,870. That's from All Seasons. And the second one is what 30 by 30, 3 STG.
It's a
Three
HD,
stage.
it's the 3X 30-inch heavy duty.
Okay, what brand is that?
That is a Cub Cadet.
All right. And that's $1,600, and the recommendation is to go with the $1,600 one, PJ?
That is correct, Dan. He's muted.
All right. I don't have any questions. Anybody of the board have a question? If not, I'll make a resolution to approve the purchase. Does any commissioners have any questions?
No questions here.
Okay, need a second?
Second.
Rich, roll call.
Rich,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Resolution carries. PJ,
Thank you.
anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you very much for the replacement snow blower.
All right. Approval of the prior month's minutes. Any additions, corrections, deletions? Entertain a motion to approve the prior month's minutes.
I'll make it.
So moved by Brian. Need a second?
I'll second.
Nick, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution carries. Treasurer's report. Sean?
Yep, you should have a copy of the treasurer's report in your Dropbox. The checking account had a bank reconciled balance as December 31st of $13,583.26, having earned 21 cents worth of interest for the month, $378.54 worth of interest for the year. The bond account, as you know, we did close that out mid-year, but it did earn $1.31 worth of interest while it was active. And then we have money market bank reconciliation of $1,687,189.59. Of that amount, $371,574 is for general fund. $1,108,557 is for capital reserve equipment. $154,828 for capital reserve building, and $52,199 is for repairs. And the subsequent documentation are copies of the reconciliations and the bank statements for your final review.
Any questions for Sean? Nope. Entertain a resolution to accept the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Rich, second.
I'll second it.
Brian, roll call.
Brian,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
And Nick?
Aye.
Resolution carries. Approval of the current month's invoices. Those are in Dropbox. Any questions? Okay, if there's no questions, entertain a resolution to approve the current month's invoices.
So moved.
Ryan, need a second?
Second.
Nick, roll call.
Nick?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Thank you.
Correspondence received and sent. Bob?
Has received KeyBank FDIC insurance assets ending 11/30/2020. We received a credit from McKesson, it's our EMS medical supplier. It was a invoice that they double charged us on. We received a claim check from Duracell Battery in the amount of $259.04. This was for an air pack that was damaged earlier in the year, and we filed a claim with Duracell claiming that it was due to batteries that went bad that shouldn't have, so they wind up paying the claim. 2021 Fire Commissioner Training. We received notice of the training dates, and Nick already did get his training this past Sunday. The results from the Auctions International for the 2 vehicles received notice of $5,200. That's what we'll be receiving. One of the vehicles is already gone. We're still waiting on the second purchaser to pick up the 2004 Chevrolet. We received the official notification from the Secretary of Wyandotte Fire Department for the company and line officers. We received a notification from the Association of Fire Districts of New York for the annual meeting, May 5th through 7th at Turning Stone. And on sent correspondence, we did send out the Auctions International. That was the listing for the vehicles back in December.
All right. Any questions for Bob? All right. Old business. I don't have any on the list on the agenda.
Dan, I would bring up under old business, just so people are aware. I don't know that Mark Lasavita is zoomed in. Or, did he ask to get in the meeting at all, Bob, to talk to the board?
No.
Okay, just so everybody's aware, I had a conversation with him earlier in the week. The application that the district co-signed on regarding the Fire Act on behalf of the county, I guess he received a notification that it's got like 10 things that it gets scored on. 9 of them, it got the highest possible score that there is. The 10th one, it got the lowest possible score that there is. So therefore, it didn't make the cut for this year. He has already started the process to resubmit. So I don't know if we need to take an action to further our interest or our engagement, and I think it's something we should do. It seems that from the brief discussion I had with him, it seems that everything was looked at from the perspective of, yeah, we were just the host people putting the paperwork together, but it was really a countywide application. But they only looked at DeFreestyle and Wynand-Skill's run totals, and they said, you guys don't do enough runs. They didn't look at all the county run totals. So he's going to resubmit it with the county run totals. The next submission date is like, what do you say, Brian?
It was like February something. He had to have it by February.
February something, yeah. So I don't know that it may be before the February meeting. So I don't know if we need to take an act to extend our continued engagement in this or not.
I don't know the answer to that.
He hasn't texted me, so I know sometimes he listens into our meetings. So I'll make a motion that we continue our engagement with it, pending a discussion with him at our February meeting.
All right. We need a second. Rich made a motion.
I'll second it.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. New business with a snow blower. We already took care of that. Department chiefs reports, wine and
Excuse me, Dan?
skill. Yep.
Dan, that piece of paper I slid to you, Terry had sent that while the meeting was ongoing. We need
Oh,
to,
sorry.
the board needs to consider that.
All right. We need to add this resolution. I'll propose it pursuant to labor law, section 27A and 12 NYCRR 800.6, section F. The district has examined the district's records for 2020 and found there to be no reports or records for review. Who would like to make that resolution?
Let me explain it to him first, Dan. That's where
Good.
it's workplace violence, and you have to do an annual review. And I apologize, I should have gotten that to Sean. You can do it. You just have to do it annually, and you can do it. You can do it at this meeting now. And what I would like Sean to do is to add it to his agenda for the organizational meeting. Somewhere near the end, just so you have a record of an annual review being done. And my understanding is you didn't have any reports in 2020. And God willing, you'll never have any, but you need to have some documentation that the workplace violence records, if extant, were reviewed at some point. So that's what this is all about. I apologize for ringing in late.
All right. Who would like to make that resolution?
I'll make it.
Brian,
So
need a
moved.
second? Was that Dave? Did you second it?
Second.
All right. Roll call.
Dave,
Yes.
Dan,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
and Rich.
Aye.
All right. Wine and skill chiefs report. Mark.
Mark, you need to unmute.
Okay, how's that? Got me now? Okay. Report for the month of December, we had a total of 29 alarms for the month. Hours at alarms were 176. Total hours for the year were 2518. Total number of alarms for the total year was 477, broken down as 368 fire calls and 109 rescue calls. Drills for the month were 7. Total hours were 379. Total hours for the year were 1626. Average response time 4.7 minutes. Average station or staff on the truck, first truck was 3.9. Average staff per alarm was 9.5. I don't have too much report tonight. The new tick is in, so we're in the process of getting the old one taken out and new one installed. The Lionsville Fire Department had their line officers meeting a couple weeks ago, and we have our officers all set. We will be scheduling a chiefs meeting with the Freesville so that the 6 chiefs can get together, and we'll plan our itinerary for the year for the first quarter. Another thing we have is for alarms at Vanderheiden Hall up in towards Post and Kill. Just a reminder to everybody, all the buildings up there, all the cottages have exposures to COVID in them. So what we've done in the last 3 or 4 weeks was that any response there, both Winesco and DeFreesville will stand by outside. If it's just a normal reset on the alarm, we'll send the staff in and let them reset the alarm. Once the alarm's reset, we'll take and leave. If for some reason we have to take and go in, we'll follow all the proper protocols as we need to. But they were originally segregating it to one building, and they got so many of them up there that had been exposed or whatever. All the houses are been exposed. So that's the process that we're taking right now. Also, we had an alarm at St. Jude's the other day, and actually the call came from the county. The resident actually called us and said that they were cooking and that, it beeped and then it went off. We didn't get any alarm from the alarm company from the system. So apparently Bill Miller said they've been working on it. It looks like they may have that straightened out. We're going to do some further checking and make sure on the time delay on it and make sure everything is set. So that sounds like a good thing for us, cut down on some of the alarms. Talking to Bob, and they mentioned last month at the meeting was that the SCBA purchase was going to be coming up. We've done our diligence on our side, and I know William's been working on his. We're only going to need 10 SCBA bottles. We're not going to have to take and purchase any packs. So that's going to actually take and save the district some money, and whatever is left over that we're not spending, we can possibly use to purchase the equipment for the new apparatus when it comes in. So it looks like we're in pretty good shape there. I gave Bob the paperwork for the training that's going to be held over for Dwight Fire Department at Coco's Motel. We had 3 additional members that signed up, so we have a total of 7. So that paperwork is there for your approval. Be $975 for those 3 individuals. The other thing I have is the New York State Association of Fire Chiefs is having ABCs of rescue company operations. There's a seminar series that's going to be held on the 28th of this month at Spiegeltown Firehouse. I have probably 3 or 4 people that have interest in it right now, and they can get a count by the end of the week, and I'll take and get it to Bob so I can take and submit that number so we can get that done with Susan out to the town state chiefs. Assistant Chief Wilson just sent me a text about the cell phone vouchers. We'll have them all together for you for next month and taken for your approval. All right. The only other thing that I have, the last thing is that all the members that were, when we took and closed the building down for 30 days, all those members that were exposed have been cleared. So we're in pretty good shape. There was no further infection or anything with the COVID, which is very good. I'm going to wait at least another week to make sure before we start letting anybody into the firehouse. We'll get in touch with William and we'll sit down and we'll go over it and just make sure if everything works out. And my game plan is to continue with the scheduled CPR class on the 19th and the 26th to take and finish out the month. And that's all I got.
Just as a reminder to the 2 chiefs, as we discussed it the last month, that, that's really a collaborative effort between the 2 companies, the chiefs and the fire district. So really any reopening plans, you should also consult the board with, just
Yes.
like you did with the modifications you just made.
Sure, definitely.
So,
yep, we'll know better by next week.
Chief, I got a question real quick. In your report here, I see a quote for car starters. You didn't talk about that.
Oh, that's right. Adam got the quote for the 2 car starters. I forgot to take and write that down. Thank you.
No problem.
He got the quote from them. Bob has already been checking into it. Apparently the equipment has been ordered. It's just a matter of waiting for them, to get in-house, and then they'll schedule to take in the installation.
Yeah, no, we haven't ordered anything, Chief. We were
Okay.
waiting for the board to approve the car
Okay.
starters. The incidental equipment is what the board had approved, like the visors for the windows, some of the miscellaneous stuff.
Yep.
But the car starters, it's something, this is the first time they're seeing that.
Oh, okay.
Does that include labor there? 'Cause it's pretty low price.
It does. It is a good price.
Yeah, it's because I just put one in Kendra's car and it was a lot more than that.
And I'm all set. That's all I got.
All right. Any questions for Mark?
I have one question, Mark. Do you have an idea how many guys have got the shot so far? Just give us an idea how many of our covered.
Yeah, I do actually, somewhere here. Let me see where I put it. I don't have it in front of me, Dave. But I had 66 members that I figure are the active ones that we would go. I have about 44 members that have already taken and expressed that they've either gotten it or going to get it. They're scheduled to get it. I've had 4 to 5 that said no, they're not going to get it this time. And then I still have about 20 that are still I haven't been in contact with that I'm waiting to hear on. Actually, some of them probably have already gotten the second vaccine because I think they were actually starting on the 4th, I think. So I'll have a better update for you at the next meeting on
Okay.
exactly how many we got, how many refused it, and where we stand.
I think that's good that we keep track of it. At least we know how much coverage we have on it and stuff. I know some of these other stations have taken and had to shut down for a little while, and I don't want to get in that situation if we can help it. I also want to know what the board feels about, and I'm not sure if someone refuses to get it, what are we going to do with that? Is there anything we do with that, or is that just the way it is?
I don't think there's anything we can do, is there?
Well,
No, there really isn't.
because there's like HIPAA rules there, and so we can't ask them if they had a shot. And that's kind of medical information.
Unless I think the only way we could do it is make it a term of employment. And then that's subject to, is that something we want to do?
Well, I think the big thing is that no one really knows what the side effects or anything are. Most of these other vaccines have been out there for years, and we pretty much have an idea. Some people are looking at it with their doctors for their medical reasons, whether or not they can take it. Other members just don't want to take it. They just don't feel comfortable doing it at this time. And I agree with you. I don't think there's any way we can actually force them to take something that they don't want, at least not at this point.
We clearly can't force them, but we could make it a term of employment if we wanted to go down that road. But I don't know that we do. I don't think we do. But Terry, do you have anything?
No, Richard, but you're absolutely correct. I mean, you can say you can't make somebody take it, but you can say you can't respond to calls until COVID's over or until you get the vaccination. I mean, as a condition of employment. It's a tough call. I mean, I guess, for all the reasons you mentioned, the efficacy of the vaccine, who's allergic to it, if someone could have a medical excuse for it. I mean, I don't know what you want to do with it, but if this thing doesn't start going away, when, if someone who's had the vaccine comes down with it, God forbid, then you may have to make it a condition of employment. I mean, the exposure, it's really too early. I mean, I don't have a good answer for you other than what you said. Yeah. But you could, if you wanted to say you get the vaccine or you're going to sit on the bench, you could do that. If you want to do that.
I'm personally not ready to do that. I don't know about how the other members of the board feel, but I don't know that we're ready to do that.
Is there any other districts handling it any different than this? I don't understand what we should do or what we can do. I mean, I get it. I just don't know what the right answer is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could let me. I'm not aware of any other districts that are forbidding members, but it's going to come up. But you guys are a little ahead of the curve because you guys got your first and some of your second vaccines already. We're playing catch up over here. Let me just get rid of COVID for a second. You could make the same rule with respect to the flu shot if you wanted to. You got to have a flu shot, and if you don't take a flu shot, then you can't come around during flu season. You could do that. How you would enforce it might be a little bit difficult, but it's when you put it in the context of COVID, everybody seems to be, and rightfully so, more skittish, more concerned. The mystery of it. We accept that we're going to lose 60,000 people a year to the flu. We haven't accepted that we're going to lose more than that we have the COVID. So, I think, while it would be great if the vaccine worked and everybody got it, you guys are the first ones I've dealt with they're trying to cross the bridge as to what you should do. And it's not clear.
No, to me, it's very hard to figure that out. And assuming that 60% get the shot or whatever, and we have one person come in and he catches it from a call, or at least he thinks he caught it from a call. Is it comp? Is it not comp? How do we handle all that?
It's comp, and then the other 39% that didn't get the vaccine are quarantined if they were at the meeting, the drill, the whatever with. I mean, that's the problem you have to wrestle with. And
or whatever, and we have one person come in and he catches it from a call, or at least he thinks he caught it from a call. Is it comp? Is it not?
I think you're
That
out
was
there in
feedback from that was feedback from the
ether world there, David, because I just heard what you said twice. I don't know. Did you get that?
Yeah, I heard it myself. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, I'm not. Is anybody hearing me? Because I'm not hearing anything.
I
from
can hear you now.
at this point.
we're
Yeah,
all,
I
we're
got
all
you.
kind of looking at each other, figuring out what that was.
Okay.
But I think the biggest thing right now is really try to, Chief Mason, you mentioned about 20 people, maybe try to reach out to them and, try to encourage them. And I don't think we got as many over in, Chief Burkhart chime in. I don't think there's as many that still needed over here. I think we had pretty good participation over in DeFreeseville. But I think the biggest thing is those 20 people that we haven't really reached out or touched base with, kind of make that a priority, at least, see what our end number is going to be of those who do not want to be vaccinated, so to speak, and go from there.
Well, those
I'm
numbers,
concerned with
the
something-
number that high side was a total number of active, I call active members, you
Right.
may see them come once or twice or a few times a year or something. Those most of them are in that 20, 25 group right there. I think for the most part, everybody that is really active or that's going to be coming around is pretty much in that 44 group.
I'm more concerned with something Terry said there in passing, and Dave said in that last discussion about what do we do if somebody comes in and says, I've tested positive and I think I got it at a call that we were on, and we have no, there was no exposure report, there was no indication that they did possibly come in contact with somebody, and there was no indication that they didn't. How do we handle that?
Well, the presumption, I mean, fortunately, the presumption is probably always going to be that it's us. My concern is let's use Mark's example. You have 40% that aren't vaccinated. You have 100% coming up to a meeting, a drill, a whatever. Okay. The 40% don't know who the other ones are that probably don't. And maybe everybody's showing up with the expectation that, everyone I'm going to be meeting was vaccinated. And you can't share that information, and no one's walking around with a big V on their, scarlet V on their forehead. So if everyone doesn't get vaccinated, the exposure problem is not going to go away for the district. And how you handle that when we get to April or March, when everyone's been vaccinated who can, you're still going to have engineering controls in place and quality controls in place, because some of your people are going to be running the risk of theoretically running the risk of getting the disease from other members, other district employees. So I apologize. I don't have an answer for you, but I know, the hospitals say you don't get it, you're furloughed. That seems kind of draconian for the fire district's purposes, but there may be people that again, take the person for medical reasons is allergic to something in the whatever, told not to take it. They're going to have to come forward and tell you that. Otherwise you're not going to know. And they're not obligated to tell you that technically, unless you make it a condition of employment.
Should we come up with a policy for recommending the shot, and then once you get the shot, because I can see the next move is that, well, I got the shot, I don't need to wear a mask. Maybe we need a district policy about wearing mask on calls and having it spelled out so that there's no questions. We don't just dump it on the chiefs to be the bad guys, or commissioners to be the bad guys, but come up with a district policy on wearing a mask on in the station anytime.
Well, my understanding is that's already the policy. I mean, you should be doing it now. And I guess my response to you, Dave, is I don't know when that's going to stop.
Yeah, it's been based on the CDC requirements or the CDC recommendations, and I think that the chief's actions have been based on the CDC recommendations. I would suggest we just continue that. I don't know that we need do we need a new SOP or SOG on on this, or do we just continue with the CDC guidelines?
We haven't changed anything over in Lionsville. We're still wearing the mask. We're still, washing our hands. We're still cleaning the apparatus. We're not hanging around long enough to do whatever and out the door. That activity is still going on. Every now and then you get one or two that forgets to put it on or whatever, but for the most part, everybody's doing well.
And I think, the modifications are likely going to last probably the chunk of the winter. I don't see this drastically changing.
So,
Do
sorry.
you agree, Terry?
I agree.
I
don't see anything.
Whoever's listed as a phone number is trying to chime in. I think it's William.
It's William.
Yeah, it's me. Hey,
Hey.
so when I ended up putting out the information, obviously for the vaccine and everything else on our end, I ended up telling the membership, this is the mask and everything are still in effect, and we're not going away, we're not straying away from anything. We're still following the CDC guidelines, so nothing ever veered. So I don't think it'd be very necessary for us to change our policy. We're still following the CDC guidelines. And what I just put out to the membership was just kind of a reinforcing factor to that. But like I said, we're still following CDC guidelines.
Yeah, nothing's changed on our end.
When you get to the end of the vaccination process, you're still going to have this 800-pound gorilla in the room. And I'm not saying you got to address it now, but I think to Dave's point, and maybe there isn't guidance right now to develop a policy, but I think you're going to have to, keep that in place. And I think you may have to do something extra for those people who either choose to identify or whom have not been vaccinated, or at least at a minimum, say, look, if you come around, you attend these things in person and you're unvaccinated, somebody else is unvaccinated, there's a likelihood you could contract
I
something.
think we're going to see this addressed at a bigger scale, nationally, statewide, in all venues, because they're talking about, a COVID passport where you won't be able to board an airplane unless you show you've had your shot. They're talking about sporting events and mass gathering events where you won't be able to enter unless you've had your shot. So, at the level of the state or the federal legislative bodies, people coming and going from the DeFreesville or Winesville fire station is probably not their highest priority right now. But I think we're going to see this addressed at a national level.
Well, that may be, but I still think that, we're still responsible for taking on this and looking at this, because we do have situations where people still aren't wearing a mask and we're still pushing the envelope. And we've had a couple of close calls where we could have infected the station. We ran across it. And before we end up shutting a station down, I think we have to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get to a point ahead of a lot of other places where your whole population that wanted to get vaccinated got vaccinated. Okay. And then people are going to be saying, well, let's open up the station. Why can't we do this? Why do we? And I think you have to stay status quo until, you guys will probably be on the frontier on the point for this to figure out a way around it. But I don't see your procedures changing if you have a large demographic of people who are not vaccinated. And you may have to create special rules for them, but it's nothing you have to address tonight. And I can't really give you any guidance, but I see that train coming. And to Rich's point, yeah, it's going to have to be addressed nationally. But do you really want to trust Cuomo to figure this thing out? You're going to have to deal with it in your little fiefdom first. And again, we're moving into the higher class problems, but I think we're going to be masked up, sanitizing and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, Dave, if you say you're still having a problem and with exposure or potential exposure with people not wearing a mask, believe me, I just came off a 10-day quarantine. All right. And my first trip back into the firehouse, you could see the cultural change that had occurred over that 10 days where, prior to that, it was maybe 75, if that, were wearing masks prior. It's 100% now. Everybody in that place is wearing a mask, myself included. All right. And it's just, it's standard practice. I mean, I go in the firehouse for a call, I pull my mask down so I can drive, so I don't have to worry about glasses getting fogged up or anything. But that's about it.
Yeah, actually, Dave, looking at my numbers now from the couple of people I talked to today, looks like there's only about maybe 11 people that I'm not sure of. And they're all active firefighters, so that I haven't seen in the last couple of days. So I think we're in a lot better shape than I originally come up with. I probably got about 52, 53 that have gotten it or in process. And there's only a handful, about 10 or 11 that are active members. Everybody else, we don't see.
The concern I have is kind of following up on Rich's point is that, the two chiefs, the two presidents, and the Board of Fire Commissioners put out a directive in March. And basically now we're saying, up until 10 days ago, it was basically ignored by a minimum of 25% of the people. That's a problem.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm just, my point is,
Rich
it's
just said.
the vaccine.
I said it based on my unscientific
No,
observation.
I realize that. Yeah. But I mean, and I don't disagree with you.
All these numbers here are just for the vaccine. That's
I'm
not
not talking about the
for
vaccine.
the mask or anything like that.
It's a problem when, we put out policies, especially ones that are really, executive orders from, state government, whether we agree with them or not. And it takes, we're 10, 11 months into something and, they're just being followed. So that's a concern. I don't know if anybody agrees with me or disagrees.
I agree with you. And like I said, I don't want to be the bad guy, but I also walked in a couple times in situations where 7, 8 people were not wearing them, all hanging out. And that's why this is coming to a head for me now. But I mean, at the end of the day here, we're trying to protect everybody. And the shot is nice for the active guys that are taking calls, but we have people that are the administrators that keep a lot of the functions going in the firehouse that aren't on the fire truck, but they're in the thick of it on a regular
They could be
basis.
wearing masks when they're in the building.
I agree.
And if you say you're walking in and there's 7 or 8 people there, if they're not there for a call, they're not supposed to be there. So I don't know I don't know why it's happening.
That's what I'm bringing up. So all I'm saying is that I think that the district puts it out there to make sure that it's not any more of a choice. It's not a political statement, just plain and simple. Let's take care of everybody. Everybody keep an eye on it. Everybody be safe. And we'll follow the regulations and Terry can help us along on whatever else comes down the pike.
Any other questions or comments?
Discussion.
All right. Mark, anything else? We're still on your.
No, that's it. That's it for me. I got in enough trouble already.
You didn't get in any trouble.
I got one more thing.
Good discussion, Mark.
Oh, there, now I'm in trouble. He's starting again. What do you got, Dave?
Out to all the chiefs. There's a lot of our members that are not computer literate.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Reach out to everybody we can. Let's get them lined up. If they need help, I will help them, but let's get them signed up and get them going.
Yeah, we've been in the process of doing that. Adam's been doing some of it. Myself, I've been helping a couple of guys, and I'm pretty much a computer dummy. So, but what little bit I can get in, I do the best I can. But yeah, we got guys that are tech savvy that are taking help from these guys. So we should be doing all right.
I thank you guys for it.
A lot of other sites opened up today. So, I mean, they're probably filling up pretty quick, but there's a lot more options too. Okay, DeFreeseville Chiefs report. William.
Okay, sorry about that. So just getting on just to finish off with the COVID thing, since we're already on that subject a little bit. For DeFreeseville, we had 44 riding members. For the most part, we're 95% vaccinated. There's just 1 or 2 stragglers that are waiting for their employer, which is understandable just due to their job. So they kind of want to get through them. I ended up submitting a request for purchase for several Firefighter 1 books. I think it's about 6, just because the firefighter one or BFO or whatever acronym they're using this week. We just ran out of books just due to the popular demand and the rarity of this class coming out. So we have quite a few members involved in it. I believe we have 6 on our end. Also looking for, I believe I need approval for Eric Hopkins for training. He's going over to Albany County with what Chief Mason was saying with his guys over in Verdoy for the hands-on portion. I think it's $325. I submitted that form over to Bob. For 2020, the calls for the year were 445, which is down substantially from the 600, and I can't recall honestly from the year before. So us fixing those fire alarms up at Eastwick and other locations are starting to really pay off. So, and that's pretty much it for my report.
Good job on the fire alarms, Chief. Between the Tech Park and Eastwick, that's a huge dent, probably about 100+ calls right there.
Yeah.
Great job on that.
So it wasn't all me. It was, Brian helped out also, and he was the main force behind it when he was chief, and I just kind of picked up the end here. So. But that's all what I have for my report.
All right. So the training, we've got 4 members requesting to attend this training at $325 a person. Entertain a resolution to approve up to 4 people to attend that training to be named by the chief.
I just had a question, Dan. In the attachments in Dropbox, it looks like there's 8 for 2,600. Is it 4 or is it 8 total between the 2 departments?
What's that?
I believe you approved 4 last month, Brian.
Okay, so that's part of it. Got it. So
I'm
we're
not
adding
sure
4
about
to it.
which part, but I know 4 was approved last month.
All right, so it's the 1,300. Got it.
Yeah,
I'll
on
be
the
quiet.
agenda, there's only 4 listed.
I'll be quiet.
William, what did you mention about Eric Hopkins?
He's being added.
He was on that training that we're talking about currently. He wanted to participate, so that was the approval I needed for I believe him going out of county, which I think you guys generally do a blanket approval for going to an adjacent county, though.
Okay, and is he attending for his career position?
So he's attending for here because it's part of the training classes that he wants to do.
Okay.
And he wants to help out here, obviously. So he's part on the training committee and the Proby training committee. So it's in part.
No, that's fine. I missed the first part of what you said, so that's fine. So I entertained a resolution to add 4 people at $325 each to the training. Somebody want to make that?
So moved.
Rich, you need a second?
I'll second.
Nick, roll call.
Nick,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Brian,
Aye.
and David.
All right, resolution carries. Entertain a resolution to purchase 6 essential books, totaling a cost of $495.
Make the motion.
Dave, need a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Rich.
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
and Brian.
Aye.
Resolution carries. I believe we're set with 2 chiefs reports.
Dan?
Stan- what's that?
Excuse me, Dan.
Yes.
You have the remote car starters that the board needs to consider.
All right. Where are they in Dropbox, the quotes, Bob?
They are in under Wine Skill Fire Chief's report.
That's for 2. That's cheap.
Well, no, it's $387 for just the car starters, and then it's $358 a piece to put in each chief's vehicle. If I'm reading it right? For labor.
So is the first page is the equipment and the second page is the labor, right?
Yeah,
Right.
if I'm reading it right, that's what I
Right.
say.
That's correct. You have the equipment and then you have the labor to put it in the vehicle.
Bob, are these the ones with the keychain, or I know most of the newer vehicles have like an app that you download on the phone?
Can't answer that because I know Adam Littlefield is the one that spec'd this one out.
Usually the apps are more expensive and usually require like a subscription service, that kind of thing. So I probably think this would be a key.
Yeah, I think it is.
Right? Any questions regarding this potential purchase? It's roughly $800, a little less.
I make the motion.
Resolution made by Dave. Need a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Brian. Roll call.
Brian,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
and Rich.
Resolution carries. Standing committee reports. Apparatus and equipment. Dave and Rich. Why don't we move up the apparatus needs committee also? It's both of the same ESA. We'll kind of do one report for both.
All right, I got a couple things on the new rigs that, and I'm trying to jump around here, that I need to cover. Three outstanding items. One is that I've got an email. I sent an email out to the apparatus committee, and I got some feedback from the wine and skill side that was very, very clear about not being interested in doing the headsets because I guess I wasn't aware of it. But prior to me being on the board, they had them all. They had them in all the rigs. They were a constant source of failure and problem. So they took them all out. So they weren't interested in spending money on that or going down that road again. So I haven't pursued that at all. I did send an email, the same email where I asked about and asked people about what their thoughts on headsets were. I sent to the two chiefs paperwork that needed to be filled out with regard to 97426 427 for potential getting the cost on getting that getting values on them so that we can put them on the market. I haven't got any of that back. Now I'm not complaining because I sent it out a couple days before Christmas. When I got it, it's been the holidays, it's been COVID, it's been everything else. So I understand that it hasn't happened between the 20th and now because it's just of where we are in time. But it's something we can't let drop. I got to get that going. Adam had sent me a note back saying he wasn't available for the task. Now I don't know if he meant the task of talking about the headphones or the task of talking about doing the paperwork, or if he was sending that to Mark or who he was sending it to. But just what it was meant to be. But it is what it is. But I could probably do 9.7s. I can ask enough people and get the information. If for me to go over and do 426, 427, I'm going to be crawling all over the truck trying to find information that people probably know off the top of their head.
Hey, Rich, for 9.7, sorry to interrupt you. We do have that paperwork all set. The guys are just going back to just double check to make sure that they got all their I's dotted and T's crossed. So that's going to be on your.
So as soon as I get 426, 427, I want to send them all in. So Mark, if you can get somebody assigned to them and get somebody pulling the information together.
Yeah, I got most of the one for 427 done. I'll just have to go through 426. If I get a chance, I'll take a run through it tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yep.
The third thing, I think we got a resolution on it based on Bob's comment, because I got no additional feedback, is I got to let the factory know tomorrow as to what we want for tablet mounts. Dan had suggested something generic, so in case we move from iPad to something else, I don't know what's available there. Bob had suggested something along the lines of the size of the iPad that we're using now, or possibly the next bigger size. So again, I got to find out what's available there that could be used. So I'll go back with those suggestions, but I want to, I didn't want to take an action without talking to the board first and make sure that.
Yeah, I would say something generic that could take and fit pretty much any size that we have.
Okay. Anybody else? Any feedback? All right, I'll let
Rick-
them.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, there was a charger mount that they made. I believe it was like a universal charging mount where it didn't matter, obviously, whatever tablet or iPad was manufactured, that it was able to charge sitting in the cradle. I can have Dan Sheehan look into that and see what he has up at work there at Saratoga. He said it was a fairly good unit.
All right,
So-
if you can get information back to me on that, I'd appreciate it. And I mean, if Dan can move on that expeditiously, I do want to give them a call tomorrow and let them know that we're not ignoring it. It came in, I think it was Thursday, the request came, so I pushed it to you guys, and I figured I'd call them back tomorrow on it. I don't want them to think that we're just ignoring them though.
Okay, I'll follow up
Thank you.
on my end.
Thank you. That's all I had was those 3 items.
Right, anything else for apparatus and equipment in the apparatus needs committee?
The only thing that I have is that hopefully this month or next month, we'll start to get together on the idea of the Zodiac boat type of thing. We're kind of waiting for the chiefs to get in position and see where they're all at and go from there.
All right. Buildings and grounds, Dave and Brian.
Go ahead, Dave. You got your finger on the button, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm thinking at the same time. Joey Casino got his screw gun out and kind of patched up the shed again for a while. I think we probably need to add that into the size of what we can do and how we're going to do it. The big shed has certainly got a part of it kind of hanging over the edge. I'm not sure exactly what the best way to fix that is. So we're still looking at it. Maybe Brian, if we can meet up sometime, we'll take a walk around and see if you got any ideas.
All right, no, sounds good. Whenever. I mean, there's a couple notes on there, referring to the HVAC, which Bob could probably get in a lot more detail. But the long story short of it is, we've been getting like a lot of service calls. And Bob, please at any time jump in or correct me if I'm wrong. But we've been getting a lot of service calls and stuff on the Johnson system over at the DeFriesville station. Basically, it's a whole bunch of different dampers. It's kind of a complex system. So there's some talk about some ways getting around this, where these dampers are like getting stuck open. Rooms are getting heated up to 80, 90 degrees. It's almost like a waste of, energy, so to speak. So looking at, doing some modifications after Bob talked to Johnson, basically putting in, just like you have in your house, a normal thermostat, the dampers would be open. It would just control the temperature like normal. So Bob, you might have a little more detail on that as far as next steps. If we want to go ahead and look at doing this, get, cost. Cause like I said, it's a money sink right now. I think it was the district offices was like 89 degrees the other day. So heat's just constantly running because the damper gets stuck and they're not closing. And it's just, the service calls get pretty expensive.
Brian, I think you kind of covered it pretty well. I'm being told by Johnson Controls that if we wanted to some extent, like dumb down the system is really what we would be doing. The capability exists to do that in the controls right now. So it's not, there could be possibly an end of the line thermostat that is going to need to be mounted someplace, but because of the type of control system that the main rooftop unit has, I think we can do it, and there's really not going to be a lot of expense. So I think if that is the case, we should try it, because in the last 2 years, the amount of service calls we've had on the main rooftop unit that controls all of the offices, the hallways, the kitchen, it's been a lot, and I think we need to shift a gear, so to say. I believe that system might have been better served for occupancy use that's more frequent, higher occupancy. So I think that there could even be a value cost here for the utilities. So I would just like the go-ahead to work with Johnson. And if that is going to be somewhat of an easy fix because the controls allow that to be done now, I think we should try it and then, see what problems exist as we go through the heating, the warm heating season and then the cooling in the summertime. And if we decide, no, we need to go back, it wouldn't be a big deal to go back because the system can do that easily.
Bob, is this one unit or is there multiple units that you would have to do that to?
It's only one unit. At DeFreeseville, there's 4 rooftop units. 2 units control the meeting training room. 1 unit controls the members room. And then the other master unit that we're referring to that has the VCT, and that's VCD, excuse me, the volume control dampers. That is the unit we're talking about. It would not affect anything we're doing with the plasma air system right now. Wouldn't affect anything that we're doing to try and move more air that we're already doing at both stations. So it's just the one unit that controls all of the offices.
I think that's a good idea. We try the system out and see what you can do to improve it.
Save money long-term with repairs and stuff. So it makes sense to me.
Bob, is this related at all to what Tim O'Connor brought up the other night at the company meeting about the zones on the apron heater? Is that tied to the same thing or not completely separate?
Something totally different.
Okay.
And the other note, so I mean, if that's okay, I guess I'm okay going forward. I don't know if we gotta make a motion or just have Bob explore it and come back with something, or
I think he could just explore it and come back with a proposal.
Bob, I got a question. Does this include the radio room?
No, radio room's totally separate heating system.
Okay.
and the other note on
I don't think we need a motion. I think, Bob can just
All right.
take a look and we'll consider it when he's got something for us to take action on.
excellent. And the other thing on the note on there is we've had some members asking about, we have the traffic light that controls the light on Route 4 there for apparatus leading the station. And there's some requests to add extra buttons because right now we got one button's kind of by the bay in front of where first response 997 is, that area. I don't see the need to add extra buttons where it's at every single bay, but possibly looking at relocating that to the more centered section, if anything. I'm not sure any thoughts on it. I mean, got my own opinions on the button myself, but it did come up. So,
Well, what is your thoughts and opinion, Brian, on the button?
I personally never use it. To my personal opinion, it delays response of responders coming to the station. We have clear enough line of sight to where you're pulling like in the old station where you're like nosing out, you're already in Route 4. I think with the line of sight, I'm not even sure we really need to relocate / put another one in, but just my opinion.
Well, I think your opinion carries a lot of weight. You're the commissioner assigned to that committee into the building, and you're also a past fire chief. What's the opinion of the chief at DeFreeseville?
I mean, like Brian said, we have, it just delays responses. Also, we have another issue with that switch that it needs to get replaced, which I think Bob was kind of working on that. There was some other issue with it. So I think we got to fix the first issue before we work on other issues right at the moment, because there's some issue with it. The switch that we have on there is delaying the cycle of the light, which is holding it longer. So if somebody hits the switch and we have a structure fire, it backs traffic up and it delays our responders from getting into the station too.
Yeah, the reason I just probably about moving it or adding was, if they're going to come out to fix it, it was probably the right time to even, address it. So it's one service call, but
I mean, if we got to move it,
repaired regardless, but.
Well, I just think if the two of you don't really, I think if we have it, it should be operating the way it was intended. But if the two of you, aren't really advocating for the increased use of it, well, I don't really see the sense in spending the money to move it. But I'll defer to me personally. I would defer to the chief and to you, Brian, as a commissioner on that to make a recommendation for us to consider.
I mean, personally, me, like you said, if it's we got it. We got to maintain it, fix the one that's in place, but not add it or move it. That'd be my opinion and recommendation.
Chief,
I would say the same.
any questions from the board? I mean, it's a repair item. I don't think we really even need to take action on that. It's just maintaining the station.
Yeah, no, it's just more discussion because, like I said, it came up. So
Let me bring into this. I have a little experience. I represented a couple of fire districts on 146. And they're obligated to have the light because it's a state highway. And they had a light a lot longer than you guys have. They just don't use it. For the same reasons you've encountered. It just delays response. So you have this, massive flashing yellow light and the button to activate it. And the one district has been probably 40 years had the light out front, and they just don't activate it for those reasons. So I think maybe your learning curve is catching up with, what other places have already experienced.
We had it for decades in the old station, and it was primarily used for the opposite reason, to back the trucks in, which is really not why it was put in by DOT. But we're so far off the main highway here, it's not necessary for that.
excellent.
All
That's all
right. District personnel, I do have the letters I need to sign here that Sean prepared. Just confirming the salaries for 2021 for the staff as set forth in the budget. So I'll sign those and we'll issue those. Brian, do you have anything?
Nope, nothing. Just congratulations to the new chiefs in the district and all the officers.
All right, thank you. Finance, insurance, long-range planning. I don't have anything specific. Nick?
No, I don't have anything.
Sean, anything on those topics?
No, I'm working on wrapping up the annual report and the auditors will be here this month.
Okay. Policies, procedures, and membership. Brian and Nick, did you guys get a chance to see I don't know if these were like sent electronically, the two membership applications. If not, I can kind of read them. And did you?
Yeah, they're in Dropbox.
Oh, they are. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and give the report on this?
We go dig it up. Sorry.
Well, here I got Brittany Kitterman
Yes, it's opening now.
and John Netarosik.
Yeah, it looks like they have the paperwork here from when I was going through when I went through it earlier on the computer. Arson check was good. I didn't see any issues with the application. Same birthday as mine on one of them. Just saying.
Nice.
All right. It looks like that everything's complete.
References, everything's signed off on. So I'm just thumbing through on the phone here. Actually, is Brittany going for social or firematic? I'm sorry. So I was looking for the background check here.
Firematic.
Okay, there it is. Yep, no, looks good to me.
All right. Nick, anything?
I read them earlier. They look good. I can't find them on my phone right now.
All right. Any questions or concerns before we take action on that?
Down here.
All right. You want to entertain a Terry,
Make a motion.
resolution or motion for members? You're on mute.
I think usually just make a motion to approve the.
All right. You want to make that, Brian and Nick?
Sure, I'll make the motion to accept the two new members for Wyanskill.
You want to second that, Nick?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Welcome if you're watching.
All right. Excellent. Anything with policies?
At some point, Nick, if you're around, like kind of link up and just kind of go over stuff that Scott and I were starting to work on, and get caught up to speed where we are in certain different policies we're looking at going forward.
All right.
I'll get hold of you on the side.
All right. LoSAP, Nick, Brian, the two chiefs. Obviously, Nick is brand new at this, but Brian, maybe you could work with Nick on this.
Yeah, no, sounds good. And Scott honestly bore most of the burden of this one committee, but I think we got meetings come up, and the president's probably chime in. I think next month or so to kind of start going over the LoSAP for last year, but it's kind of pretty much runs itself, so to speak. It's just more meeting up with the companies and going through some different stuff.
Yeah. Scott and Mike Lashman are good resources on this.
Yep.
Mike ran it for years, and Scott, even though it was only a year, really was a quick learner and did a nice job with it.
Very nice.
All right. Special committees, business operations and technology. I don't have anything. Bob, did we get the new iPads in and the computers?
We have the 2 new iPads, and hopefully things calm down after this meeting. I'll be able to get those issued, as well as the 2 older ones. So all 6 chiefs will have iPads, and I have not been able to get mine yet. We'll work on that in January. Thank you.
Yep. Nick, I know it's your first meeting with it, but anything or any questions on that?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. I do have to get together with Dan Wilson Jr. regarding his phone and getting him on the fire district plan, and I'll connect with him on that. Development plan review, Brian, Nick, and the 2 chiefs. Brian?
Nothing too new going on. I mean, you just got the Aldi's rumor going. That's what's going in by the vet over here. But beyond that, the urgent care is being built. Not a lot of construction going on in January, but ultimately the Route 4 project in a few months should be starting back up. So, other than that, it's just kind of quiet. We sent some stuff in last month to the planning board, but I think it's been pretty quiet.
What about on Van Alstyne Drive? Anything on that?
I've not seen any plans or anything for that. I think it's supposed to be a Regeneron facility or whatever, but I've seen nothing yet.
All right. Anybody else on that committee have anything?
Nope.
All right. Firematic operations, Rich and Dave.
I have nothing.
I can't remember, but I remember last month there was a newer topic that you and Dave were going to work on, and it kind of fell under this committee, and now I can't remember what it was. Do you recall?
You're gonna have to refresh my memory. I didn't write it down if I was supposed to.
No.
Was there anything in the minutes?
I don't recall it.
Well, this meeting got a little shorter then. But we will take a look in the minutes, because I specifically remember, I think Dave raised an issue, and Rich, you had commented that it kind of fell
Yeah,
under
there was
firematic
something.
operations, and
Right.
maybe somebody could look in the minutes while we're,
Dan,
I'm trying now.
hey, Dan,
yeah.
it was about, Richard brought it up, about reviewing all of the equipment that's on all of the apparatus in the district to see if there's something that could be gained as to standardize, and to see if there's a pool of equipment that could be used
Okay.
that's not needed, and it is in the minutes.
So that was a longer term thing, yeah. And that's something it was a thought that we needed, we collectively need to do it, but it's certainly not something that the chiefs are going to want to jump into their first week and with their new officers and everything else. That's something we should be looking to do as we get a little more steady on our feet going into the full year.
Well, it's good that the two commissioners that are retired are on that committee. So you'll have lots of time.
There you go.
So
The goal that you all should work towards.
that's right. Apparatus Needs Committee.
We covered it with the other.
All right, Bob, did we get anything for public session?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it in to you, Dan. It'll take me a second.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. We did get one thing from in public session. I'll give acknowledge who sent it in, Adam Littlefield, and I actually got it texted to me from Dave Wilson. But this is a posting on the Wine and Skill neighborhood Facebook group. I'm not going to read names, even though it's in public, because I feel like we might be out of place with HIPAA, but I do want to read it, and I thank Adam for sending this in. The poster writes, on Saturday evening, our 15-year-old son suffered sudden cardiac arrest due to a convenient heart defect. The incredible members of the North Greenbush Ambulance Association brought him back to us. There could never be words enough to express our gratitude to the paramedics, police officers, and firefighters who came to our aid that night. All we can say is thank you so much for saving our son. And again, I left the names out of it, of the patient poster. But that's a really nice compliment, and hats off to the North Greenbush Ambulance, the police officers that were there, and the firefighters that were there. You hear stuff like this, and it really makes what us as first responders do all worthwhile. I don't know if anybody, the chiefs or anybody that was on that call, want to add to it.
No, I wasn't there at that one, so Adam was the officer in charge.
All right.
Dan, I was there, and I ended up driving our first response, and we ended up helping the ambulance package and load the patient. I know they physically shocked him 3 times before they got a heartbeat back.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible. Well, on behalf of the board, please, Mark, extend our appreciation to your members that were involved, and it was nice that that mom put that out there. Well, thank you, Adam, for sending that in. All right. Any other public? That's all we've got. Anything else come in, Bob?
No.
Okay. There is a need for an executive session to discuss the employment history of a particular member.